Welcome to Tea Time with Terry. And I am here on location at the wonderful Stephen Baumbach Gallery at the Backstreet Art District today. They've got a great new show up, and you can see it by appointment and very careful masking and distancing. You are welcome to call Chad at 760-501-6806. You can ask me for all that information later too. To view they are having the Palm Springs, the Palm Springs Photographic Center members show. So at the back end of the Backstreet Gallery, just call and make an appointment and come down and see some great photos.
Groovy.
Groovy. And there we go. And there's my trusty sidekick, Terry Ray.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good. You're so close to me. You're at the Backstreet Art Place.
I know. I can practically throw a rock at you now.
If I stuck my hand out the window, we could touch.
Right.
But it's too hot.
No. Well.
And it's COVID. We can't touch.
No touching. No touching allowed. So
we have to touch via art.
Elbows, shoulders, but no fingers.
No.
So, well, welcome. We are going to get started with the Cat's Meow show, the 2020 version of our animal show.
What does that mean, Terry? I don't know what that is.
Well, last year we had the Dog Days of Summer show.
Oh.
Which was when we could all be in person and see and greet each other. We at UCR Palm Desert last year, and yeah, we had quite the show for that one. It was the first time we had done a show in the summer, in July, I believe it was, and we must have had 300 people show up for that show.
And people did dog-themed art?
Well, it was animal themed.
Okay. Yeah.
And so this year I decided to give cats equal time.
Funny fair. Mm-hmm.
Trying to make up for the movie as well. So.
Oh, good luck.
So we've got about 40 pieces to get through today to see what everybody has done. Let's see if I can get here to there and go to there. There we go. So, moving on. First, we start with an apology that I missed from 2 weeks ago. Anne Bedrick's piece, When Balloons Descend and Break the Crust. This somehow slipped through a crack somewhere, so I needed to come back and show this piece. Really fun, wonderful colors. Anne, are you here? Did you just step in? No? Okay. So then we're going to move on to Marty Devoove, Alexis's Fat Cat.
Nice. I like it.
Yes. This is completely new style from Marty, which is a lot of fun. I mean, you can see some of her urban techniques coming through, but I've never really seen her done figurative or animal stuff, so this is great.
Are there actual shiny things on the painting, like for the eyes and the jewelry? Is this collage?
Yeah, it is collage. So she probably glued some fun things. Marty, are you here? I'm just going to keep talking out into the dark.
I hear you.
Thank you, Terry. Hear you. Thank you. So this is, a great new style for Marty. So.
It's great. I love it.
Yes. Veronique. She had, this was part of the show last year. The Turtles, I remember.
Fun.
Piece. And then she sent in some fun mixed media collage with a couple of roosters, or rooster and hen.
Like it.
Yes, very fun. Fun. And again, if Veronique or whenever we come to whoever artist is here, say hi and introduce yourself, and then we'll talk. So, got the lovely furry embrace.
It's a very different style than the other one she did.
I know. She's a jack of all trades.
Nice. Furry embrace.
And mysterious gaze.
Wow.
She's
right on topic. She's got the cats.
Right. She's got that glossy eyes on the cats too.
Yeah. But I could kill you or I could love you. I don't know which I'm going to do yet.
Exactly. Then we have, Miss Carol Hatcher.
Oh.
Carol, come on and tell us about Rue Esther.
It's on. Well, this was another challenge from Ripped and Torn. This was our animal challenge. And the only criteria was that it had to be in a square shape, and it had to be collage of some form of collage. So it's actually my first attempt at painting. I've never painted before. And so it was fun for me to learn the layering of the colors on the feathers, and I did some stenciling in the background. And so I put real feathers on the tail, which I'm not sure that that's supposed to be done, although they were sanitized, and because that's how it came in the package. So they were all treated and everything. And then I put the little chicken wire across the bottom, and my signature piece is always a bell somewhere. So on the fence is hanging a little tiny bell.
Okay, so this is your first painting ever?
Yes. But okay, so the rooster was a stencil. So I just drew the lines in the stencil, and then I painted it all in. So the painting is my part, so it was difficult for me to learn, but it was a real stretch. I liked it.
Looks great.
Well, it's much better than Terry's, turkey hand painting that he does.
But it's consistent. I am consistent.
Right. So nice. No, you can do feathers. There are no rules in art.
And I love a signature bell. You can't go wrong with that.
Right.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol, remember the theme was birds of a feather.
Oh, that's right. I was struggling. Thanks, Ushi. Yes, birds of a feather. That was the theme for this show. So everyone did a kind of bird, and I decided on the rooster.
How did you get that crackle effect in the back?
Well, it's a stencil. And so you put the paint layer down, and it looks like crackle. And then I used the medium that I used over the top had some fiber to it, a little bit of tooth. So it really increased that dimension or that feeling of crackle.
Oh.
Nice.
Very crackle.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Eddie, where did you find this devil cat?
Wonderful. So there is a story here, a little story. This cat's name is Bobby. And I was actually at a client's house. Hubby came along and we were doing an installation of a really large, I made an entire graffiti wall and reproduced it on like contact paper kind of stuff. So it was taking all day to do this installation. And I took a break to go in the kitchen and get some water, and this thing was staring at me. Just like that. Beautiful. So I promptly left Stephen, went out to the car to get my camera,
Right.
and spent the next 2 hours doing a photo shoot of Bobby the cat.
How close were you to Bobby?
He's huge, as you can tell. I mean, he's a gigantic, like 20 pounds worth of cat. but that scowl kept showing up in every picture. I didn't mean that. I thought he would kind of like, get a little happy or do, no, this is this. So it's my first ever attempt. I don't normally do animals at all. I mean, I'd stretch if I'm out at a lake or something or catch a fish, but in terms of going in someone's house and doing a portrait shoot of a cat, I have never done.
Right.
So it was quite fun. So he's just adorable. I love him. And so this is much more typical of my work. This is cormorants, and this is during mating season, of course. And they're two couples, and then the children. So they're two couples. The kissing is very typical of how cormorants mate. The one on the right of that is their teenager from last year. So that's a family nest, and then the others are other couples or offspring watching. And this is more typical of me messing around and digitalizing a photo and taking down the color and adding metallics and so forth. So
Can you tell me about, I've never seen digital photo acrylic print.
Yeah.
So what's the acrylic part?
You print it on acrylic. So the printing itself is on a paper, and it's sandwiched between two pieces of acrylic, and the acrylic is then bonded, and then so what you have is an acrylic. So it's not acrylic like the painter, or like you're thinking acrylic like painting. It's the material that it's printed on is think like in art school. So plastic print, but these days it's a very hard acrylic. So it becomes, so the if you just do the paper, in this case, because there's so much metallic in the digital work, if you just printed that on paper and put it in a frame, it would be very hard, even on archival paper, to have that sustain over time. So by printing it on in heat in acrylic, it'll retain this. Wow. This actually is a shot of the acrylic.
Where was the picture taken?
This is in Center City Lake in Denver. There's actually an entire huge area where that's a bird, whatever you call it, where birds meet.
Sanctuary?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Sanctuary.
A bird bar? I don't know.
Bird bar.
Oh.
And this little guy is from our very own Living Desert Zoo. And again, I don't usually do photos, but I was just sitting watching they just got the meerkats back. They had a whole mound of them, and then they kind of didn't do very well. And from early, like, when did we close? In March? So maybe December-ish, they got a new batch of meerkat. And I just sat and watched them. And this sweet little thing, isn't he adorable? Yeah. He's so sweet. They're so adorable. If you haven't watched Meerkat Manor on National Geo, you should.
Nice.
So thanks for doing this, Terry.
Oh, absolutely. Alan, are you here?
Love those colors.
Yeah. This is a little different for him, which is nice. I mean, he never has people, but at this point, it's just legs.
They have got some seriously long legs. I love it.
But it's fun. I like the play with the proportion. It's just the half green, half blue.
I like that the woman in gold has the dog in
blue. Yeah, exactly.
Blue, and he's got the blue. Yes, they were made for each other.
Exactly. I've seen this movie somewhere before.
Do they eat spaghetti together?
I know, exactly. No, you have the meatball. Diane Morgan.
Oh, Diane, great.
Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, I misspelled sunset. I'll fix that.
It's almost like insects.
Right. Exactly. That's.
Well,
that's
it's a better sunset. It's the estiest.
Sunset. Yes, it's the best sunset. So one of your classic bug paintings, Diane?
Yes, and it looks like it's a Venus flytrap or something, but it was just a leaf curled up around it, and it's eating little bugs that are dead inside the leaf.
I thought it was a photograph at first. It's a painting. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's good like that.
You are good.
And I love the little heart on the back of the ladybugs.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No, it's a little heart.
Did you start with a photo?
I did. Yeah, I always work from my own photos, and this was one of them.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, you usually can tell when painters work from photos because of the more white, because cameras just have to separate everything out, and they'll always be like black and they'll always be white. So if we were to look at this with just our own eye, we wouldn't have seen like all that bright white there. But
I exaggerate the colors too. And well,
exactly.
you just can't do bugs and bees from real life really too well.
No, it's tough to make them stand still.
Yeah. They got a lot of weird things going on in their bodies to remember.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, here's some.
Ah. Joshua Tree Bee. Oh, get it. Okay.
Is that a cactus, a flowering cactus?
It is a cactus, and it was for a competition about Joshua Tree or something, so I had to name it that. Whether I didn't exactly take the photograph there, but
Right, close enough.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and then the see-through wings and stuff like that are really great.
And the hair around the eyes.
Good, good. Liquid sunshine.
oh wow. This is
And
actually
Ed is the master of light.
it's a palm tree blossom actually.
Wow.
One of those miniature palm trees.
Very cool.
And I love all the little pollen specks on the bee and amazing detail.
Yeah.
One more.
And then we've got another beautiful ladybug.
This one I was in a show years ago, and I put matte varnish on it. Like I just poured it on right from the bottle and put it on really thick, and it totally ruined the painting. It went cloudy, totally cloudy. So luckily Winsor Newton fixed me up with their specialist tech guy up in Quebec, and he told me to try taking it off with varnish remover, and I couldn't get it off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to repaint the painting to send it to the show. But he also told me never put matte varnish on first. If you want a matte finish, always put gloss on first and then put matte on it.
Oh.
Interesting.
So I learned the hard way on that one.
Fortunately, you can reproduce your own work.
Yeah, right.
Fairly easy. Yeah, and this is at least a ladybug and not one of those super furry bees.
Yeah, this was a little bit less detailed, but it has to dry though. That's the problem. But luckily in the desert, you just put it out in the garage or something or in your car.
Exactly. Yes. And then one more.
One more.
Yeah.
They're just impressive. I love them.
Nice. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Oh.
I know, and now to photos. Tim, are you here? He was here last time.
That bee is carrying a big chunk of something.
Big chunk of pollen and covered in pollen.
They actually carry the pollen in the pockets on their knees.
Oh,
Little
Stuff.
pockets there.
Yeah. Wow.
nice.
Those are called cargo pockets.
Yes, they are. But they were more in style in the 90s than now, but still.
Right.
Look
Well,
at
now
that.
here's a beautiful piece.
Somebody was very close
I know.
to the kitty.
Nice kitty. Beautiful. And then we Dragonfly.
Look at the color in those wings.
I know. Well, it looks like you're seeing through the wings, so you're getting the color of the body in the wings. Maybe. No, they're there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Uh-oh.
Got some competition going on.
Exactly.
Winged ambush.
Bum, bum, bum.
Run, run, monarch butterfly, run.
And then we've got some of Nancy's pieces.
Oh,
Nancy, are you here?
I am. So this is a painting I did of my future daughter-in-law and her rescue dog.
Aw.
And it really shows the passion that she has for this dog and the way she's comforted him. So it's one of my favorites.
Nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Nice.
I like the fact that you don't see her.
Yeah.
Right.
Quite hesitant to have all these paintings I keep doing of her. And it gets a little embarrassed. So this was a way to solve that problem.
Well, this makes it look, I don't know, makes it look more like art versus a portrait.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh, interesting.
And it looks like the hat might belong to the dog too. I kind of like it.
It looks like the dog has bangs too.
Yes. Yeah. I'm jealous of that. Mm.
Nice.
This one, the whole canvas was painted in that yellow and blue. And I just put drops of paint all along it and then scraped it. And then went back in and did negative paintings to pull out the cats and then added some additional texture with stamping and stenciling.
Looks great.
Nice.
This one is trying out some new techniques for me. This is one of the first times I was going to use collage. And then I decided I would hand paint the patterns instead. So, but the sun is more of a metallic, and then there's acrylic metallics in the bird's wings and head, and then the including of a word.
Yeah.
Right.
Neat.
Nice. Nice.
And this one was the first time I tried using Brusho. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with that material, but
What is it? Is that paint or paper or what's
Brusho is like charcoal powder, but it's in colors. And you wet your paper, and when you sprinkle it on, it bursts into these little dots of color.
Oh, kind of spreads out. I get you.
Yeah. And then it was a matter of figuring out what I was going to do with those little bits of color.
Good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and some
And then this is,
mid-century cats.
Same cat.
I like to do some mid-century modern things, especially where we live. And so this started out with all the collage pieces on the black cat were hand drawn and then cut to fit the cat rather than black paper on it and just drawing them in. So I had him on there and I titled it, "I'm Too Sexy for My Tie." But he seemed kind of lonely. So I pulled him back out and added his girlfriend, and now they're the perfect pair.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, that reminds me of the piece you sold last year, the red, white, and black cats and stuff like that.
Yes, that was a whole family with the mom and dad and the 3 kittens
Right.
at different ages. And I really think that the 50s look of the way they did cats, and the personality that they gave them was so much fun. And of course, the color scheme with all the orange was perfect for the 50s. So she is a combination of like Zentangles patterns that I put on her, and then her tail is all collaged on, and her necklace, things like that.
Wow.
You have to have white pearls when you're in the 50s.
Right. Always. Okay. T, are you here? We've got sunlight also burns the snake.
Look at that. It's really kind of, you know, groovy. Melty snake.
Yeah, I accidentally first posted this as sunlight also burns the snakes. And T came back and said, no, it's singular. I'm like, oh, okay. But that happens. So,
Wow.
and this is a larger piece. So it's like 3.5 feet tall. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Kathleen Scoggins, The Last Show.
Wow.
Kathleen, we got
I just texted her and she was trying to get on. So
I'm here.
Oh,
oh,
you
there
are.
she is.
I had to unmute myself.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, Nancy. That was timing was perfect. Anyway, I don't know what that red spot is there. This is, I have to give credit to Robin St. Louis because I actually did this in a workshop. This does not look like my normal painting.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's,
I
it's
don't
not.
use-
It's
yeah.
not your abstract.
No. And so I took a workshop from her because I really admire her and her work. I'm sure a lot of you know Robin. And she works from photographs. And so this is our Whippet Devon, and she was 6, well, she's probably about 7 months old there. And we bought her as a pet, but she actually was a show dog. And for those that don't know me, my husband and I spent 25 years raising and showing golden retrievers at a national level. We were at Westminster and had nationally dogs in the top 10 and so forth. This is my other life. So we were kind of obsessed with it at the time. But anyway, we bought her and she's just a wonderful dog. And the people that sold her to us really were encouraging to show her. So we were at the Palm Springs. So I took this picture of her. She was a puppy and she'd been in the ring, and she was jumped up on the chairs. Everybody sits in the chair, and you can see my jacket with an armband with the letter 2 on it. And so the reason I titled it was I thought, I don't want a dog show anymore. I don't want to spend the money and I don't want to travel. And so I knew when I walked away that day, it was the last time I would ever be in the dog show ring. So I call it The Last Show. But, and so anyway, she just ended up being a pet, which I loved her. But it was really fun doing this painting. And it's an interesting technique. You wet your water. This is a full sheet. Wet your paper. And then you just kind of lightly drop in color, but pretty low value. And so all up at the top and on the jacket, except in the shading, and all that shows white in the dog is really that first underpainting. And then you come in with the dark, dark, dark darks and, pretty much get your shapes going. And then you come in with your mid values. So it was a fun painting to do. And so I just thought it would be fun to show. So.
Wow.
Got a good history too. Like it. Good story.
Yeah, it's a very personal. You sell by the price. I don't want to sell it. It's hanging in our bedroom, and I love it. And Devon's 11 now, so.
Oh my gosh!
So she's very precious to me. So, but I thought it'd be fun to show. So thank you.
Jack up the price a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Elaine Sigwald's Joyride. Elaine, are you here? Unmute yourself. I found out this is actually a toy that she photographed.
Wow.
Because I first said, okay, whose sculpture did you, take a picture of?
Yeah.
And no, it was a toy she found because she likes to take pictures of mannequins and just random store things.
This
And
was a
so
toy. Wow.
she did this one, and then she also did this one. And I'm like, that was a toy? I was like, that looks like a work of art right there.
I want that toy.
I know.
Wow, this is cool.
Fun little things. And then we have Sylvia Smith Curious. Sylvia, are you here? She's usually around. But
It's fun to have all these artists just jump on. I like it.
I know. Now this is we're much better with this Zoom meeting format than the webinar. So it's nice that people can actually just describe their own work. But
Yeah.
classic cat sitting in the sunlight.
Huh.
So nice.
Aw.
Right.
And this one's pretty.
And those whiskers are just so delicate.
Aren't they?
Yeah. Those are
It's
nice.
an interesting pose. I mean, the way the paw is interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
There we
I'm
are,
here.
Elaine.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. This is a squirrel in Big Bear. And actually, it was the last squirrel we saw. Probably 2 weeks later, all the squirrels were gone. And from what I gather, died.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a mange that hit the squirrels. And so this is Curious George. It was really interesting that day because he probably was sick. He was within 6 feet of me and didn't run away. And the sun was coming in through his tail. And I just thought it was absolutely a great photo. And so I went ahead and did the painting. But we left Big Bear maybe 2-3 years, well, it's 4 years ago. And the squirrels were just coming back. They were gone almost 4 years, 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, come back.
Look at that.
These wolves?
Yeah. Yes, this was a pair that I saw up in the Yellowstone sanctuary. There's a wolf sanctuary in West Yellowstone, and I took this picture there. And I wanted to try some paintings of similar to Nativo. I say his name wrong. He's a Mexican American painter. Well, maybe not Mexican. I think Indian American painter he's passed away now 2 years ago. But I love the way he uses color, and I was trying to do more of that.
Nice.
The same with this wolf. And I fooled around with it because he was howling, and then I put moonlight in it. And another one I did was more daylight.
Now, is this also from a photo?
Yes, yeah. I actually did 2 versions of this because I had really hard time with his paws. And the other version is really a dark blue moonlight. And interesting enough, wolves' paws are huge compared to dogs. And it was interesting to do the 2 paintings side by side because then I could correct errors I was making in one in the first try as I went through the second one. It was just interesting. I enjoy a lot of water and throwing the paint into the water, and then this one worked that way. Then in the final piece, there's almost like a glitter paint on his back and on where the moonlight hits.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh.
Again, another version of the same 2 wolves.
You can see the big paws here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The paws are just amazingly huge.
Mhm.
It was, these are antelope that I did a wild animal safari in Yellowstone about 3 years ago in the spring. And these antelope just stopped and were staring at us when we stopped the car and I took the photos. I just thoroughly enjoy the animals at Yellowstone, and that was a trip of a lifetime.
Beautiful place.
Yes, yeah. I also have a version of bison and red dogs, the baby bison from that trip.
Oh, wow. Good. Well, thank you, Elaine.
Thank you.
Aww,
Oh,
Bushy.
those are sweet.
Aren't
Here
they fun?
they are. Well, they are one of a series of a pentatype. I like to paint in series, and I've obviously painted a lot of animals. I don't like to copy copy things, so I make things up as I go along. And I'm getting away a little bit from doing animals, by the way. I'm doing faces right now and collage and that kind of stuff. But I love the monkeys because I think they have character. And what I usually do, I start with the eyes because the eyes look back at me and the eyes will tell me where to go with the painting. Does it?
Nice.
Yeah, I love the facial expressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the color on the screen doesn't look as good as it does in real, because it's a little muddy on the screen, but it's pretty vibrant. So, and yeah, I always make sure that there's expression in any animal, including the birds, as you can see.
Yeah.
And again, I've done a whole series of lovebirds. Most of them have sold, so these are still here. And these are painted on black canvas. I like to paint also on black canvas. And then what I do is I take an off-white and paint the outlines, everything in that off-white first. So it gives me a sense of space. And, you know, again, because I don't paint from a photograph, I have to kind of figure out the dimensions and what I want on it. And then after I do the off-white, I go and do color blocking and before I go into detail. But again, I outline it, and then when I start with detail, I usually do the eyes first again. So it gives me that character that I'm looking for.
Neat. Oh.
That's a series I started. I haven't done more on that, but it's called Look at Me. And again, you know, he screams, "Look at me." And it's a 12 by 12. And one of these days, I do so many paintings and pieces that series is on hold right now, but I'm gonna do different animal faces that scream, "Look at me." So.
I worked with actors that do that. Yeah.
Yeah. This one, yeah, again, out of a series of different birds. They're larger, and on that particular one, there is texture on it. You can't see it much on that picture, but like the fountain is actual texture. It stands out. The flower petals, they all have texture.
Wow.
And so they stand out. And then you see, obviously, in the bird itself, there's just thousands of tiny little brush strokes. That
tail feathers are terrific.
Yeah, I paint mostly, besides when it's a bigger thing, with a very tiny brush. So I don't brush per se, I draw. I like drawing. I do a lot of ink drawing and that kind of stuff too. So I take my little brush and I just keep drawing little strokes. And so that's, you know, what comes out of it.
Aptly named.
Yes.
Then I did a series of roadrunners.
Yes.
And that's Walter. And again, I love Roadrunners, and they're fun. You know, it's just a fun kind of thing, and they sell well. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ah, wow.
I know.
We did 40 paintings?
Yes.
Jeez. Wow.
I know.
And
Time
thank you
flies.
very
Time
much.
flies.
You're looking at good art. Has anybody sold anything from the show, or that I should mark sold on the website or anything like that we know of?
Oh, you know, we need to look. I need to look on the website.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you've sold a couple of pieces in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And I forgot what I sent you over.
right. It's been a while.
Would you please remind us of the website? It's not a UCR website, right?
No. It's that really weird Terry with 5 R's. It's on your invitation.
On the
Okay.
When you signed up, there was a link for it there. Because
Okay.
It's
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous name. But it's what we could get for free.
Sure.
So, I want to thank my lovely assistants and producers, Kelly and Nancy. They are going on summer vacation for a while. So I just want to make sure I thank them for all their help.
Thank you.
Yeah.